Okay, welcome everybody this evening. My name is Polly Hunt and I'm with AARP Massachusetts, but we have people joining us from all over the country today. And we're going to be hearing from one of our AARP volunteers, Teresa Chaklos, who is a Speakers Bureau member, and she'll be presenting on 6 pillars of brain health. But before I tell you more about Teresa, I just want to take a minute to share how AARP is fighting for you. One of our top priorities right now is to protect and preserve Social Security because this is your hard-earned money and you deserve to keep every penny. We're also advocating for a stronger Medicare and Medicaid, ensuring millions of older Americans can access affordable health care. At the same time, we're pushing to lower prescription drug costs and support family caregivers, which is so important. We're tackling fraud, working to make communities more age friendly, and helping to strengthen your financial security and retirement. Thanks to the voices of millions of you, of our AARP members and others, we are making real progress. We hope you continue to follow what we're doing on the local level, whether you're in Massachusetts or another state or territory. You can always go to your local page, which is www.aarp.org/local. But now on to our presenter today. Teresa Chaklos began volunteering with AARP Massachusetts in September of 2020. She retired from the District of Columbia Superior Court in October of 2019 after working there for 10 years as a family law facilitator in the Family Court Self-Help Center. Teresa has a Juris Doctorate from Regent University School of Law and a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice from Northeastern University. She is certified as a mediator and in group facilitation. Her professional background is diverse, but always focused on work that serves to empower others. And Teresa, we're so happy to have you with us this evening. I will hand it over to you.
Thanks, Polly. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here I'm in Burlington, Massachusetts. So we're going to talk about the 6 pillars of brain health, and it's going to be an interesting conversation and a bit interactive in a little while. First, I got to talk about this disclaimer. Let's see, for some reason, maybe I meant to. For some reason, Polly, now my slides are not advancing.
Try clicking on the 6 pillars slide and then hit the forward arrow and see if that
Okay.
works.
There we go. So
Great.
this disclaimer, it tells you that the session is intended to be informational and educational, but does not constitute medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. You should always seek the advice of a physician or other qualified healthcare provider regarding your personal health before beginning or changing any treatment, activity, program, or dietary plan. AARP is not responsible for any decisions or actions taken in reliance upon or as a result of the information provided during this event. I am not a medical expert. I have a Juris Doctorate, not a medical degree, and I cannot provide specific advice or recommendations. The information we cover today is intended to help people make informed decisions on how to lead a lifestyle that supports brain health. So let's start with the good news. Until recently, the prevailing scientific wisdom held that the human brain was pretty much fixed early in life. Experts believed that at birth, our brains had all the cells we were ever going to have. Now, because I'm not a neuroscientist or doctor, I can't go into the structure of the brain or how it operates. But what I share with you today is based on research. And the good news is that regardless of age, our brain is constantly changing and can make new nerve cells. The best part is that we can do a lot to take charge of our brain health and improve our quality of life. Experts say that only about 30% of physical aging can be traced to our genes. The rest is up to us. So, based on current research vetted for you by AARP's Global Council on Brain Health and our work for AARP's online Staying Sharp program, we've identified 6 pillars of a lifestyle that supports brain health. So during today's conversation, here are the 6 pillars that we're going to talk about: being social, engaging your brain, managing stress, ongoing exercise, restorative sleep, and eating right. And so I will ask you how to place your questions in the chat. You can place them in there as we go along, but there will be a couple of times where I'm going to ask you a question, and I would ask you to put that in the chat also. So there are significant trends today that make it particularly important to live a lifestyle that supports brain health. As people live longer, the risk for cognitive decline increases. And so we want to be in good health to enjoy those extra years and the experiences we find in them. An important trend is that people are rethinking the whole notion of retirement. Many people will decide to continue their careers or start new ones, either because they want to or because they must for economic reasons. Since we're living longer, the prospect of skyrocketing healthcare costs gives us additional incentive to live as healthy as we can for as long as we can. And finally, current brain research shows that we can grow new brain cells throughout our life and how a brain healthy lifestyle can optimize our chance of maintaining cognitive health. So the first pillar that we're going to talk about today is staying socially engaged. And believe it or not, the fact that we can gather here via Zoom today for this webinar, that is a way of staying connected with other people. So you guys are already ahead of the game. Also, there's, the video chat platforms and FaceTime and all of that. Studies suggest that people who have good social networks live longer and are physically and mentally healthier than people who are socially isolated. Connecting with other people is stimulating and challenging and often adds meaning and purpose to our lives. In fact, experts say social connectedness is a key predictor of health and independence in later years. So we want you to stay engaged with your friends, family, and community. In 2020, with support from the AARP Foundation, the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine, a study called Loneliness and Social Isolation Linked to Serious Health Conditions found that social isolation can lead to loneliness in some people, while others can feel lonely even without being socially isolated. It also found that there are health risks associated with loneliness, and a quite serious one is that social isolation was associated with about a 50% increase in the risk of dementia. So, what are you all doing to stay socially engaged? And you can go ahead and put your some responses in the chat if you have. One of the things I do to stay socially engaged is I volunteer with AARP. Someone says meet with other runners, so I'm assuming they're getting their exercise also by running at the same time. Volunteering, working, line dancing, okay, all good, a nice variety. Council on Aging classes, FaceTime, hanging out with friends in their yard while gardening, okay, dance, yoga, Pilates, weights. So again, and isn't it interesting how sometimes the way we're socially connected is through the physical activity of some sort of exercise? Singing, okay. We might have to hear from Jennifer in a little while and see if she's how good she is. So here's a few things I'm going to show you on the screen next that let me show you some of. So for those of you maybe who weren't able to answer, here are some resources for connections. Creating the good. You can, that's where you can find places to volunteer if you're interested in volunteering and you're not really sure where to go. Also, the Friendly Voice program is another way. If you want to receive a phone call or you know someone who wants to receive a phone call. Some other ideas to help you stay socially engaged is adopting a pet. or pet sitting for family and friends, or attending community events, which I think many of us mentioned. Um, let's see. So also the number you see here on the screen for the Friendly Voice program, there's a number for Spanish as well as English speaking, and it's free. It's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., whatever your local time is. And if you know someone or even yourself, that is a good resource. So the next pillar is about engaging your brain. Let's discuss the importance of discovering and learning new things. Studies have shown the positive effects of challenging the brain in new ways throughout life. Our brain is stimulated and makes new connections when we learn new things or pursue new interests. So one of the things you want to always do is stay curious and give yourself a good mental workout by doing something that challenges your thinking, offers you enjoyment, and encourages you to grapple with new and complex ideas. So what are we doing to learn new things? Let me go back and open up the chat. I've got here some things, and these kind of can cross over from one category to the other. Someone's joined a book club, attend author talks through the library, and again, volunteering at the town. One of the things I do to learn something new is I take piano lessons, and sometimes so where I live in a house I share with my daughter. So I'm upstairs, she's downstairs. And every now and then when I'm practicing, and if she's home downstairs, she'll come upstairs and say, that actually sounded like a song. So, you know what? I keep practicing anyway. Learning Italian. Oh, yeah, another language. Taking these AARP courses, book club, cooking classes, crocheting with other friends. I love it that some of what you're doing is involving doing it with other people and not always by yourself. This is great. So let me see. So I'm going to move on here to our next. So here's some, we mentioned taking or teaching a class, learning a new language, dance or musical interest, challenging card or board games. Those are all, great things. Writing letters, old school, right? Reading a challenging book. Are brain games helpful? You know, those games everybody's doing on their phones and whatnot all the time. Clinical trials have not proven playing brain games will prevent a degenerative process or the onset of Alzheimer's. While there's evidence that brain training can improve performance on the tasks you're training on, there is little evidence that they will result in better everyday cognitive function. So more research is needed on that. Our third pillar is managing stress. This includes regular exercise, which relieves the mental and physical effects of stress. Smiling and laughing releases hormones and brain chemicals to balance the effects of stress. Distracting yourself with music or reading can shift you away from repetitively going over the same issues or problems. Seek out green spaces and spend time outdoors if possible to regularly appreciate and enjoy nature. Be sure to check the CDC guidelines about participating in outdoor and other daily activities safely beforehand. So, what are we doing to manage stress? Donna belongs to different virtual nature groups like the national parks and the National Audubon site. Great. Meditation. That seems everywhere I go and give this presentation, that meditation comes up. It seems like it's really helpful for a lot of people. Anybody else have a yoga? Okay. And getting outside each day to be in nature for stress reduction. Yes. I love to take walks and just general exercise. Yes. Going to the gym or whether you do it outside. Walking, you know what, is free. You don't need fancy clothes and you can do it anywhere. And again, yoga seems to be another favorite. jogging, water aerobics. Oh, and listen, spring and summer is coming up. So if your place has an outdoor pool, that's even better, right? Because then you're outside and you're doing your water aerobics. So let's see what our if we've gotten into what watch something funny, even a quick podcast. Yeah. So managing stress, here's something confiding in friends is a good way to manage stress. Sometimes talking something out with someone, being silent and still. This is one of the things I love about walking and walking by myself. It gives me time to just like clear my head. It's almost like a brain reboot sometimes, in addition to getting exercises. Taking stretch breaks, limiting screen time, taking deep breaths. I think that meditation and yoga and even Pilates all talk about taking those deep breaths and just kind of cleansing, clearing things out that way. So let's watch this quick video about laughter.
My stepdaughters, but I find that they're laughing at me and not with me.
Laughter. It's universal. The dictionary calls it an expression of emotion with an explosive vocal sound. But it's so much more than that. Humor and our ability to laugh add depth to our daily life. It engages various brain networks, including those that process information and search for patterns. What can you do to bring more laughter to your life? Talk with friends about fun memories. Learn to laugh at yourself. See how laughter may also be good for your brain health.
So our next pillar is ongoing exercise. This doesn't mean you have to go out and become a marathon runner, but you just need to move more. You want to get at least 150 minutes of exercise each week. So that's about, if you break it down like each day, maybe 30 minutes of doing something each day, whether it's walking, jogging, biking, your yoga, swimming, whatever it is, at least 30 minutes a day. Walking is a good start. So what are some ways that you all are moving and getting exercise? For me, walking is a go-to. It's something you can do no matter where you are, and you don't need a whole lot of equipment. Someone's saying, Janice is saying gardening. Yeah, yeah, that can be strenuous too. Stretching and walking, walking or jogging, mowing the lawn. Okay, killing two birds with one stone, getting the lawn clear and walking your dog. Perfect. After meals, walking, yes. Fitness classes. There you're getting your exercise and socializing. AARP and Senior Planet offer many programs. Yes, Tai Chi through AARP, dance class at Senior Center. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, let's see. So let's see if we caught everything here. Yeah. Strength training. I think we didn't mention that, but even if you're lifting some soup cans or a water bottle, try to get some strength training in. It's not like you have to lift, 25-pound weights in each hand, but what you can, that might be a little bit of a challenge is a good idea. Working on balance and flexibility and strength. And that's where the Tai Chi, the yoga, and the Pilates comes in. So let's move on. So restorative sleep, our fifth pillar. Sleep restores the brain. It's vital to support your brain health, including cognitive function. It's essential to overall mental and physical health. Some things that you can do for a good night's sleep include avoiding caffeine beginning after lunch. And if you have not yet stopped smoking, try to avoid any smoking and nicotine substances 4 to 6 hours before going to bed. Let's take a deeper look at sleep and what supports restorative sleep. Start by getting enough sleep. Adults typically need 7 to 8 hours of sleep in a 24-hour period. Now, practicing good sleep techniques. People at any age can change their behavior in ways that may improve their sleep. Recommendations include maintaining a regular sleep-wake schedule, getting up at the same time every day, going to bed at the same time every night. And this is 7 days a week. Listen to your body. Go to bed earlier and adopt an earlier sleep schedule, exposing yourself to light during the day and reducing exposure to night prior to sleep. Avoiding TV and other electronics is also a good idea. And there are changes to sleep as we age. A person who's age 50 shouldn't expect to sleep the same way they did at age 25. You might have to put a little bit more effort in to get the restorative benefits of sleep. And sleep is more easily interrupted as we age. Deep sleep decreases between the ages of 30 to 60 years. And our body's internal clock shifts too. Older people tend to get sleepier earlier in the evening, and staying up late becomes more difficult. They can also start to wake up earlier in the morning. For example, you might start getting sleepy around 8 or 9 p.m. Go to sleep, sleep your 7 hours, and wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. These changes are a normal part of aging, and they don't mean that a person's sleep quality is worse, or that the person necessarily has insomnia or some other sleep or disorder. It just means that the timing of your sleep has shifted. So don't worry too much about an occasional bad night of sleep, but consult your healthcare provider if your life is being negatively impacted by a chronic lack of sleep. So what do we do to sleep better? Who's got some great tips for us on how to get to sleep if we have trouble? I know I used to have to get up for work at 4:45 in the morning and take a train, commute in, and then I wouldn't get home till 7 o'clock at night and have to get up and do the same thing all over again. And now that I'm retired, I get up at 7, which to me is pretty late considering I used to get up at 4:45 every day. And I try to go to bed by 11, and most of the time it works. So everybody must be great sleepers. Oh, here we go. I use the calm.com, calm, app. Is that the app? I heard about this app that people have said it's an app that tells you a bedtime story. There's one of those. And then there's an app that plays like music that helps you to sleep. So I don't know, listening to peaceful music, no electronics. Yes, a capsule of magnesium, okay, yoga nidra. Interesting. You guys have some good choices. Set up a consistent schedule to go to bed and rise at the same time. Yes, that's what I do, and it pretty much works for me most of the time. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, breathe out for 8 seconds. Soothing music. I drink linden tea and do a prayer. Okay. Yeah. Gray sound machine. Read a chapter or two and have no other noise in my room. Okay. Yeah, we have these blackout curtains to make the room very dark, to keep the light out, and that seems to help too. Okay, so there are different people on the Calm app, and they lull one to sleep. Okay. Interesting. I'll have to look into some of these apps because I hear about them a lot when I give this presentation, even in person. And the one that tells the bedtime story sounds kind of interesting to me. So we'll see. I'll have to check into it further. So let's see. Some other ways we may or may not have mentioned: adjusting the caffeine intake, prior to sleep. Keep pets that disturb your sleep out of the bedroom. Restricting fluid and food 3 hours before going to bed, and keeping your smartphones, TVs, electronics out of the bedroom. I mean, I do take my phone in because my phone is my alarm to wake up in the morning, but it has a nighttime feature, so the screen stays black, but I put it face down, and the only time it would ring is if one of my daughters calls me, and because of that sort of sleep mode that it has. So our sixth pillar is eating right. Let's see, what you eat has a big impact on your brain. Although no specific diet has been proven to maintain or improve brain health, studies have found that certain eating plans help cognition. So some examples are, the Mediterranean diet, people heard about more with olive oil, eating vegetables, things like that. The DASH diet, which stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension diet. Then there's the MIND diet, which is a hybrid of both the DASH and the Mediterranean diets. Basically, evidence supports that for better brain health, eating less meat and fewer sweets, consuming more fish, nuts, beans, grains, green leafy vegetables, and healthy fats such as olive oil. In general, the field of diet and brain health is relatively new, and gaps still exist in our knowledge of the effects of nutrients on brain function, and more research is needed. Here are some examples of some brain healthy foods to add to your diet. Putting vegetables such as kale, spinach, and broccoli on your plate. Eating whole berries, fresh, frozen, or canned are all okay. Using vinegar and lemon and herbs and spices for flavor instead of too much salt or sugar. And eating more fish like salmon and sardines. And don't forget nuts like walnuts and almonds. So we're going to take a few minutes to talk about some risks to brain health. Smoking increases the risk of heart attack and stroke. Depression doubles the risk for cognitive decline, and depression is not a normal part of aging. So seek treatment if you have symptoms. Certain medications, including some antihistamines, sleep aids, and some antidepressants, have been shown to increase the risk of dementia. So tell your healthcare provider about the medications you're taking, including the over-the-counter products, to rule out any potential problems. Diabetes damages blood vessels throughout your body, including your brain, and it also increases the risk of heart disease, memory problems, and Alzheimer's. Hearing and vision loss are linked to trouble with thinking and memory. And think of your eyes and ears as sensory extensions of your brain. Seek a healthcare provider if you're experiencing hearing loss or vision impairment. Heart disease increases the risk of heart attack and stroke. Now, it is very normal for your memory to not be as good as you age, but you can do things to help improve your memory. For one thing, paying attention. Pay attention to the information you want to remember. It sounds like common sense, but concentration is key. Practice self-talk to maintain focus. So for instance, say, I'm going to check the dryer repeatedly while you walk toward the laundry room. Then you won't get distracted by the lint on the carpet and instead go to the closet and get out the vacuum. And trust me, I have done that before. So, that just think about what it is you're about to do, and that's going to help you remember it. Avoid multitasking. It's far better to focus on one thing at a time. Use self-talk. Write down your list of things to do, check it often, and stick to it. Establish a routine. Put everyday items in the same place every day so they're easier to find, like hang your keys in the same place, put your glasses in the same place, etc. Take breaks. Tension and stress are associated with memory lapses. Managing stress can help improve memory. Use calendars, reminders, and alarms. The mind is for having ideas, not for holding them. Clear your mind. Use calendars, reminders, and alarms. So what would a day filled with brain healthy behaviors and activities look like for you? So we're gonna watch another little video here.
Everyone's days are different, but let's have a look at what a day in the life of a healthy brain might look like. 7 a.m. You wake naturally, feeling well rested because your brain spent the night organizing experiences, strengthening memories, and power washing all the toxins that built up throughout the day yesterday. 7:30 a.m. Time to tee up a productive day with a healthy breakfast. Think oatmeal, berries, and maybe some flax seeds sprinkled on top. Your body gets started converting this to glucose, which will act as fuel for your brain. Breakfast fuels you for the creative projects, hobbies, or work that await you. 12 p.m. You are ready to nourish your brain and body. A lunch with a lean protein, whole grains, nuts, fruits, and vegetables helps to keep your brain and body healthy. 1 p.m. Fresh air is calling. A brisk walk helps digestion and clears the mind for the rest of the day. Regular exercise supports your thinking and memory. 5 p.m. Meet up with friends for dinner. Keeping up social connections is great for maintaining a healthy brain. Laughter can even trigger the release of endorphins. 7 p.m. Winding down with meditation or yoga can help with transitioning to bedtime and quiets the day's worth of thoughts that often race through your mind. 10 p.m. It's time to go all in on your bedtime routine. Preparing the same way around the same time every night may support a solid evening of sleep. It's a long day for your brain, giving it everything it needs, including exercise, stimulation, nutrition, and of course, plenty of rest, can keep it functioning healthily as you age.
Sure. So aging studies consistently point to a few fundamental qualities of a brain healthy lifestyle. The overall message is to stay active mentally, physically, and socially with special attention to a healthy diet, good sleep, and stress reduction. Start with small steps and try to do something every day. I encourage you to incorporate the 6 pillars into your daily life. I want to be sure to mention some resources here coming up on this. I just pulled the slide up here. The AARP Brain Health. It's where you can find the latest news on brain health. Staying Sharp. There you can receive access to tools and resources focusing on the 6 pillars of brain health. The Global Council on Brain Health is a collaborative from AARP. The Global Council inspires thought leaders to work together to translate critical scientific information on brain health into simple actions people can take every day. The Global Council is dedicated to improving people's understanding of the steps they can take to improve their brain health throughout their lives. Brain health is vital to well-being across the lifespan, so the Global Council's work aims to have a major impact. Also, there is a book called Keep Sharp, Build a Better Brain at Any Age by neurosurgeon and CNN chief medical correspondent Sanjay Gupta. Keep Sharp is an AARP supported book based in part on the work of the Global Council on Brain Health, which offers science-driven guidance for brain health. Keep Sharp also offers guidance on brain diseases, and it is available from aarp.org/keepsharp and wherever books are sold. And there are also many other helpful resources that you can find by just going to aarp.org. Staying Sharp, which is included with AARP membership, is an online brain health program that includes brain health challenges, articles, activities, recipes, videos, fun games, and more. Plus, for an additional one-time fee, you can take a brain health assessment and receive personalized recommendations. For more information, go to stayingsharp.aarp.org. So we talked about the 6 pillars of brain health: being social, engaging your brain, managing stress, ongoing exercise, restorative sleep, and eating right. We also talked a bit about some brain health risks and tips for improving memory. And also making a personal commitment to do something each day to improve your brain health. So what questions or comments or suggestions do you have? You can go ahead and put those in the chat. Harry Styles is on the Calm app, and it's one of Elva's favorites. Okay. I love how interactive everyone is. Oh, that's from Polly. A weighted sleep mask. These are from before that I missed, I guess. Any questions about anything at all in the presentation? You're welcome, Donish. Donna's saying thank you. It was wonderful and it was informative. I hope all of you found it informative. I also hope that all of you saw some components in there that you're currently doing. And I hope the fact that you were able to see that lets you know how well you're doing right now. The fact that you're here today, the fact that you do things, you exercise, it seems like many of you do. Those are great. Can we get a copy of the slides? Polly, can you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd be happy to send those out. I will send you'll all be getting a survey after this is over, and we would appreciate your feedback, which helps us improve. If you have any suggestions or just positive comments on the survey as well, is always appreciated. And we will send a downloadable link with a PDF of the slides.
Great. Okay. Okay. And then pretty much everyone's saying thank you and great tips. So that's great. I'm glad you all enjoyed it, and thank you so much for spending your evening with me. I hope you had your dinner before now, so you're all set for the rest of the evening. Take care. Thank you to my friends in New York. That's where I was born and raised. So New York is close to my heart, and New Jersey. You're like our neighbor next door. So thank you to all, but thank you to everybody who joined from around all the various states. And I think Polly, did
Yeah,
you?
we're all set. We're all
Okay.
set. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording.